This is your announcer, Shannon Saint Mainframe, welcoming you to our IP Livecast. These Trump tariffs are doing a number on you girl Shannon's profit margins. That's right. I'm an imported announcer. Did you think Rob Bao only got his sunflower seeds from Turkey? And Sid, before you even ask, no, I can't get you a discount on hair replacement. Our IP Livecast starts now.
Dear God, it just hit me.
Sid's
The
bald.
sunflower seed tariffs are coming. Oh no, yeah, Sid's bald. Right, that's true.
I thought Sid was proudly bald. I didn't think you'd ever go for hair transplant.
I mean, it depends on the price and the length of my stay in Turkey. But I'll get some kebabs while up there and make it a whole culinary thing.
What if you could
Yeah,
get
what if it's
hair?
a sponsored trip?
Yeah.
Let's say you could get hair transplants, but you got to do a month in a El Salvadorian work prison.
Oh no, God! I wouldn't do it after. That's not worth an afternoon in one of those. I don't want it that much.
Yeah,
Pass.
I agree. I'm very comfortable with my hair loss. I wear the hat because it's like my thing on the show now. It's sort of stuck in that loop, but I go around without it outside and stuff.
I don't really. It's been wearing the hat has been my thing since like high school.
Me too. Well, when did you start losing your hair?
Late in high school.
Me too.
To
I had a
some degree.
little bald spot at the end of high school.
The bald spot came later. For me, it was the receding of the front of the hair.
No. Oh, okay. I had the George Costanza,
Mm.
like from here outwards. And then
So
I had
did you ever consider becoming Hasidic just so you could wear the kippy? Put off the baldness for a few years?
I'd be wearing a giant kippy. It's like just by age 23, I was in the same state as now, I would say.
Okay.
I feel very
Fuck you, Rob,
fortunate.
for having a full head of hair.
Hey, listen, nobody's a perfect.
It's not my
physical
fault.
specimen.
It's my parents.
Why? You're saying they're very hairy people?
Well, yeah, their genes have both sides have very thick. Well, I guess my dad is bald though, so
Is
I
he?
think it's my mom's side of the.
Trying
Yeah.
to picture your dad's face.
He's
My
always
mother
wearing that
is-
too, but,
My mother is.
He has
the
a
same.
similar hairline to Sid.
My
Meaning
mother.
not.
Your mother's the same as what?
She's very hairy. When I said your parents are hairy, I didn't mean hairy on their body like cavemen. I meant like top of the head hairy.
Yeah.
Yeah, my
My
mom
mother.
has all her hair.
Oh,
Yeah.
all of it?
All of it, baby.
Wow, Rob.
We're diving right into the deep end.
Ew. Welcome to the Livecast. Or getting a little TMI quickly. It's Rob here with Sid and Darren here every Saturday morning with your pre-noon updates of important things going on in the world.
That blurb
And,
is what
we're
we
here.
should put on Spotify. Your pre-noon update of
Preview.
things going on in the world.
Important things. The
Oh,
most
sorry.
important. Only the most important things. Earlier this week, Trump announced a bunch of tariffs, he's tanking the economy. Thanks a lot.
Well,
Donald J.
according to him, he's taking important, painful steps that will, in the long term, strengthen the economy.
Yeah.
Trying to get
And very
both sides
quickly,
out.
he showed his hand very quickly, which is what people were assuming, which is that he's intentionally doing this to lower interest rates because there's debt payments due, and in the lower the interest, the lower the payment. So thanks.
My
That's exciting.
expert financial opinion is that if this goes on like much longer, his very rich donors will step in and be like, yo, like fucking do something, and then he'll make some dumb excuse like, okay, we got a deal, whatever.
Yeah,
and
it
then-
worked. See, this was the plan all along.
That is the exciting part. Is it's also it's like disproportionately affecting rich people. So that's kind of great. I mean, also the effect on the poor people is greater
Right.
because they're losing a bigger share of their money, of course. But this isn't a financial podcast. We're not here to do that. But now I am curious how the price of my sunflower seeds will go up, though, because I do get them from Turkey, I believe. We'll see. They're already pretty expensive.
Mhm.
Over
Chart
$5
this.
a
Say
pound.
right now, how much do they cost right now?
Right now, I'm paying. The last time I went to get seeds, it was $5.69 a pound, which
Nice.
even from pre-COVID is up significantly because it was like $3.99 a pound before. And even before that, a few years prior, back in my day, it was like $1.99 a pound. So
Jesus.
Now,
it's got up
Rob,
a lot.
I don't want to alarm you, but you may have to start eating David's sunflower seeds
no.
from
Ew.
the bodega.
Well, maybe I need to give David a call, and maybe he could get in touch with David, and like they could trade, seeds or growing to like how do the Middle Easterners get their seeds so much bigger and tastier? I don't like these tiny ass fucking American sunflower seeds. And also with the salt, I'm not in it for the salt. I'm in it for the roast.
Yeah.
And if I could get on my soapbox for a moment here with my nuts, are you guys familiar with this new quote unquote franchise popping up in the city called Nuts Factory?
No.
It sounds right up your alley, though.
It does.
It is actually right up it is literally and figuratively up my alley because there is one in the neighborhood. Look, there's a photo of David Beckham stopping by one of their stores.
What?
But so
Is
they
he the guy that
opened
does the David sunflower seeds?
Oh, that's the wow! I didn't realize.
All comes together.
The positive is here's David Beckham, but
there he is.
these stores are all over the North Brooklyn and Manhattan now. I'm seeing them all over Manhattan, which is pretty crazy. And so the positive is I don't have to go to Brighton to get sunflower seeds. They have the ones that I like, the larger ones.
So sunflower seed counts as a nut?
Yeah. It would be in the nut family, I would say.
So would you.
Like it's sold alongside, peanuts, walnuts, cashews, etc.
All right.
The problem is, this Nuts Factory, they got some balls on them. They got some balls.
It's in the title, Rob. You should have seen it coming.
Yeah, they got some nuts with what they're charging. Because, just to put the sunflower seeds in perspective, like I said, $5.79, maybe $4.99 is the price. Here at the Nut Factory, it's $3.99 for half a pound. So it's $8 a pound. Get the fuck out of here.
That's how they get you. They put the sign for half a pound, so you think it's cheaper.
Yeah. Which is bullshit. Like that's like already bad, I think, customer service. Like you're trying to get one over on your customers. Mm-hmm. And on top of that, then like with some of the other stuff, it's even more obscene. For example, corn nuts, which is a fun snack. At all of these South Brooklyn nut stores, $1.99 a pound. Can I tell you how much it is at the Nut Factory? $9.99 a pound.
For the same exact corn nuts, or are they better?
Same exact shit. Exact shit. I guess maybe they're roasted differently. No, what am I going to? I mean, like, who am I going to play? It's not the.
Do they do price matching? Like, take a picture with your phone of the prices at your other nut outlets.
If you could get our nuts cheaper anywhere else.
I just find myself only buying the sunflower seeds because that's the only thing I can justify doing, because it's like, okay, well, with the price of gas and my time, it's worth the upcharge to get the sunflower seeds, but everything else is not worth the upcharge.
Deuterino says it right. Yesterday's price is
not today's price, as the great prophet Fat Joe has said. But that's enough of my ranting about nuts.
Gotta let the nuts hang.
That's right. That's how you roast them.
I really wanted to jump into this Jon Schaffer interview because there's so much to cover. Jon Schaffer, of course, the guitarist of Iced Earth, disgraced guitarist Jon Schaffer, I should say. Yeah. We spent a lot of time, long-time listeners will know, we've spent a lot of time dissecting the story. Of course, he was literally on the front lines of the January 6th riot in some of the earliest photos coming out on Getty. He was in one of the photos on the front lines storming the Capitol, and not necessarily identified, not at all identified as Ice Earth's Jon Schaffer. It's just like the first 5 photos released from the Capitol riots. It's like, wait a minute, look at that's fucking Jon Schaffer. Like I just remember, I still remember like it was yesterday. Like the entire trajectory of like, hold on, that looks like him.
You, because of your job, and the other 8 people who like Iced Earth, knew who he was from the photo.
Noah recognized it immediately, but she wasn't saying anything.
Right. Noah was in denial. No, that can't be him. No, that can't be him.
That's just an Antifa member in a Jon Schaffer suit.
But wouldn't she be proud that he was there? That's just sort of a line.
No, she's embarrassed for him. She thinks it's a
She's
joke.
Embarrassed that he got caught. She doesn't like them when they get
caught.
That's what I was thinking. I mean, I know you made
not
a joke.
January 6th. Come on, get out of here.
No. I'm not saying. I remember arguing with Noah on this show that there's nothing wrong with what he did. She was maybe joking for the show, but like that his beliefs were correct. I think she was like maybe embarrassed.
I don't remember this.
I remember me like kind of doing a roast of Jon Schaffer as he was at this thing. Look at what an idiot this guy. And she says, "Well, no, he's not stupid."
I think it was more like this was before it was known that he like broke in and had the bear spray. I think she was defending just people's right to protest, perhaps.
Oh, I think that's it.
Okay.
It's like, what did they actually do that was so wrong? Blah blah blah.
Yeah. Exactly.
They were there doing something good.
Because I've talked to her since, just privately, and we've.
That's on the Patreon,
right?
He
is. Yeah,
we had a one-on-one sit-down conversation.
I do remember. Now I remember when we talked about this because we brought up when she interviewed him on the cruise a few years ago, and how drunk he was. So he got caught. He was I think he was the first person to agree to a plea deal too.
That's right.
He's super.
He snitched out.
A lot of headlines. Yeah, he was all over CNN. He was the poster boy for like, look at this dipshit. And all throughout, I give him credit. He kept his mouth shut. His lawyers knew what to do and got him to be quiet so he didn't, further incriminate himself. Well, wouldn't you know it, now that Trump has pardoned all the January 6ers, and now that he cannot get in further legal trouble, he's talking to all his podcast friends.
He's spilling.
Yeah, he's spilling the tea, honey. Jon Schaffer spills the tea on Jan 6th.
No,
he's spilling the oats.
We all had a kiki with the oat keepers.
Oh my God. Is this on a political podcast or a music podcast that he did this interview?
It was on the podcast It's Later Than You Think, a podcast run by Cornerstone Church, a non-denominational church in Trafalgar, Indiana.
Trafalgar.
Yeah, Trafalgar.
Yeah, like in London.
Sure.
Trafalgar.
So here's what he looks like now, by the way.
Deuterito, by the way, says the singer of Future Island stole Pelosi's podium. How would you feel, Rob? Would you be defending him?
No. Well, first of all, he has way better politics.
What if he stole Pelosi's podium and then took it on tour and like sang in front of it, like for a whole U.S. tour?
Then I'd support him.
I'd support that.
As long as I don't have to listen to the music.
Yeah.
I support it in theory.
Here's what Schaffer looks like now. Blabbermouth was where I saw this.
Oh my goodness! What?
Can you describe what he looks like here?
He looks like the architect from The Matrix.
And this tie? Do you see the tie?
He's got a Patriot on his tie.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
So what's great is this is a video interview, so we don't even have to deal with the transcript. We could just go right to the video. Hopefully this won't get demonetized. So he's on this podcast Later Than You Think.
Did you say hopefully this won't get demonic?
Demonetized.
Oh.
He looks like if Bill Maher aged gracefully and didn't rubberize his face.
Oh my God. Is he wearing jeans with his blazer?
He is. He absolutely
What a working class hero this guy is.
Man.
Yeah, so this has to be his friend show because it only has 135 subscribers. And
just got a couple guitars for some reason, just flying V's hanging out.
Guitars. Yeah.
So this is at his house, or he brought guitars to the studio just to have them?
Isn't
Good
that
question.
isn't that Hulk Hogan's guitar from the Real American
Oh
video?
my God, it is. Ah.
Worth a
Does
lot
he
of
go
money.
to the same church as Hulkster?
Probably. That's probably likely.
If he's not, then Hulk Hogan's gonna lie and say that he went to the same
Of course,
church
he's
as,
the new
as Jon
bassist
Schaffer.
for Iced Earth.
Now, do you
He
think, guys, do
founded
you think
Iced
he'll
Earth.
take any responsibility for his actions, or
Oh, no.
is everything just a big misunderstanding?
All right. I'll make a prediction. I haven't seen 1 second of this video. I will say he's a good Christian person. It's going to mostly focus on that he's a good Christian person and he loves Jesus. And I think he's going to avoid political discussions. That's my
Okay, well,
guess.
I would say that's inaccurate because he is, in fact,
What?
talking about it. Well,
No, he's going to talk. I'm not saying he's not going to talk about it. So he's going to try to weasel out of being pinned down on political issues. That's what I would do if I was him.
Well, I'm just going to jump. So somebody timestamped everything. And I wanted to just jump right to the January 6th. But here's the stuff we're skipping. And I don't think we really, but I want to run it by you so you guys
Okay.
don't think we're missing anything. We're skipping the subjects. Who is Jon Schaffer?
Don't care.
That's
Iced Earth
the first half
discussion.
hour of the interview is him explaining why anyone wants to interview him.
Aren't you that guy with the Viking horns? Like, who gives a shit?
It's
about
like
you?
when Stuttering John used to ask celebrities on the red carpet, "Why are you famous?"
Right. Yes. This would be a
Iced
perfect
Earth
guy for that.
Then his side project, Demons and Wizards. Then his other side project, Sons of Liberty.
Don't care.
Then a shout out to Matt O'Rourke.
Who?
I don't know.
Don't care.
Something about the We the People music video.
Don't care.
Then John on fatherhood, family, and his childhood.
Really don't care.
Christianity.
This is a fucking
And then
therapy
January
session?
6th. That's
Okay.
where I wanted to start. January
All right.
6th.
They got that plywood behind him like he's a fucking in a therapy session. But
Is that Chris Rose interviewing him?
no,
Sports
looks
TV
like-
broadcaster,
yeah.
super generic white guy.
Looks like Chris Rose fused with Nick Kroll a little bit.
Oh my God!
I like that John tells us what really happened on January
Oh.
6th.
Oh, thanks. We didn't
Here's
know.
the real story.
I like that John's sitting and it's a completely wooden wall, and then the other guy's got a completely brick wall. Do you think they use the brick
Oh, and the
background for their
leaves.
stand-up specials?
Do you think, is this in John's house, or do you think he just brings all of his guitars? wherever
That's
he
what I'm
goes and
wondering.
sets them up?
I don't
'Cause
understand.
this
I
one has
think-
to the snake flag one. It's like that has to be his.
I think it's this show's set, and they said this guy's a musician. Get two prop guitars to put up there. And I also think that potted plant came from Chuck Schumer's office. By the way,
Not Between Two Ferns,
Yeah,
which this could be like the most boring episode of Between Two Ferns, basically.
yeah, it's good. I probably gonna be that bizarre.
Yeah.
So let's talk about the build-up in, I guess, starting 2020, because I know COVID kind of kicked off a lot of things. I think that woke a lot of people up to seeing the government overreach.
Yep.
Yep.
I know that woke a lot of people up. Not as many other things as it should have, but well,
I mean, yeah, agree
guess
with that
what was the
part. Doesn't
first
mean you should put on Viking
thing that
helmets and go break
politically
windows.
Jon Schaffer did in 2020. Like, what started the build-up to January 6th?
I mean, well, I don't know.
Or if you
I did
can
some
even-
I did some interviews where I was like
Okay, could you pause
know.
for a second?
very anti.
Because he's like, he's not looking at the interviewer. Do you think he's got like a lawyer in the corner and he's like looking to the lawyer to be like, "Can I actually answer to this?"
The
Well,
lawyer's
no, 'cause
behind that.
He's
plant.
he got pardoned for all of his stuff, so he can talk about it.
That
All
could
right.
be maybe a PR consultant. What shouldn't I say? That type
Yeah.
of thing. Although anyone who likes him at this point is gonna not care.
They're
if
on
he does
board,
some-
yeah.
Yeah.
anti everything that was going on because everybody was buying the false narrative that they're keeping us safe.
No,
Like,
the
yeah.
face diapers were doing stuff and
Yeah.
social distancing, and you're not seeing your grandma at the hospital.
Right. Yeah, I mean, it's just I knew then. I mean, because if any fans that see this that have paid attention, you look at the lyrics on Dystopia. Look at Plagues of Babylon. I mean, I knew they were going to do this because I read their.
Yeah.
I love how self-involved he is. That he's like, as you know, I've spoken about this much in my lyrics, which you could reference here.
Their white papers, and I read their books. It was like, whoa, it's on.
Whoa.
So I was feeling like this is it. We're on the edge of we're going to lose our country. We're going to lose it. It's done. And so, but other than doing some interviews and trying to get people to see the difference, it was just, I guess it was the Stop the Steal rally that I went to.
Mr. Charisma over here.
And again,
oh, so now he's talking about that rally where we have the footage. Like, we watched that footage. Remember, like, this was a few months before January 6th. He went to some rally in DC. Yeah. And we played that footage of what a dipshit he was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And even in the famous interview that I did that they showed everywhere.
Famous on the Livecast and literally nowhere else.
I said
they showed everywhere. Like we're putting words in his mouth by showing him speaking.
Yeah.
His opinions.
This isn't about President Trump. I mean, I believe that he's a good man who loves his country.
Yeah.
But the American people
like, you could say you believe he's a man who loves his country, but how could you believe he's a good man?
Right.
Well, if he does everything you like politically, then he's a good man. What else matters?
I mean, he's cheated on two of his wives with his next two wives.
I'm sure Jon Schaffer's cheated on wives too. God forgives all, Rob.
I think what he would say to that is that he's a flawed person in his personal life, but he has like good inherent morals and stuff.
Yeah.
But isn't that?
Of course, it's bullshit, but that's what they think.
Okay.
That's the whole Jesus thing, You fuck up in your personal life, and he forgives you.
Yeah.
Or worked up because we're sick of the tyranny, and he happens to be the figurehead against that.
Yeah, he has no tyranny.
But for me, I would have been just as pissed off if they stole the election from the Democrats, because that means
like in 2000 he was right there.
Yeah,
he was right there in 2000 in Florida.
Yeah,
when fucking Brett Kavanaugh and all them were storming the recounts. He was right there trying to stop that.
He didn't have his political awakening yet in 2000, Rob. Just want to say.
Oh, I see.
Let's be fair.
We have to examine the 1999 Iced Earth release to see if he had predicted that as well. I'll go back and check the lyrics.
Act for a very long time. We don't need to go down that rabbit hole, but I mean that's just as frightening. It was the other way. It's not, that because I ended the.
It's just as frightening. That's why right now he's out on the streets protesting for Mahmoud Khalil to be released by Trump, because this is just censorship. This is abuse of the First Amendment, and as we know, Jon Schaffer is a constitutionalist.
Maybe it's because he's just old now. Did he get all that white? Did he have all that white hair during this January 6th?
Yeah, but it was longer.
He's definitely skinnier now and grayer.
Yeah, I wonder. I'm just asking. I wonder if this aged him or if he was already that old and hiding it.
Yeah, I mean that's also possible that he just didn't have access to his Just for Men while he was in prison, and then afterwards he's like, "Fuck it."
Pulled a Kevin Nash.
He gave it all to the guy interviewing him.
Oh yeah, that's not pretty.
This is the infamous photo, of course. So I don't know. He just looks like he lost weight.
Okay, yeah, I guess he's still pretty gray there too. Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
looks like he has some He looks like he has some vitality there, even though he's gray.
Well, because he's speaking passionately.
Yeah,
he's speaking truth to power. He's screaming truth to power.
He's been neutered in this video.
Oh my God,
that is some Just for Men there on the left.
Yeah, absolutely.
Holy mackerel.
Party tribalism a long time ago. Like I just don't play that game anymore. I don't care what.
I don't play that, homie. Don't play that.
Republicans are captured. There's a lot of wolves in sheepskin, and power all around, man. Federal, state, local, all over. Yep. And I'm just anti-tyranny I want people to be free. I want people
Me
to
too.
be able to be free to speak their minds, to worship.
Free to speak the right freedom. That again,
live,
see,
to
he's
prosper.
so against what's going on with
That's
Mahmoud
what our
Khalil and
country,
these
that's what
visa.
we've been told our whole lives.
deportations.
That's what our country stands for.
I'm sure he's against
Only
the El
American
Salvador
citizens,
prisons.
Rob.
We've been lied to.
Those
But
rights
the
aren't like
fact is,
universal. It's just for people who are
They
born.
are actually they are.
Not according to Jon Schaffer.
Everyone is. If you don't give a fair trial to non-citizens, how can we expect a fair trial for citizens?
Well, this is what I was talking about earlier, that I think he's going to try to avoid being pinned down on single things and like start talking about these vague. I believe in freedom. He's saying this is like okay, thank you for that.
No, he kind of gets into pushing. Like they ask him about the Oath Keepers later on, and he dodges responsibility. We'll get. It's my favorite part in the transcript. We'll get to it. So let's see.
that's what it was founded upon.
Yep.
And they have demonized everything about our history to the point
Who is they?
that
Gay people.
if we
the
don't
bad
bring
actors.
common sense
God
back
damn it,
into
Rob.
this discussion, that will be unrecognizable. And we're both fathers. It's not an option.
Yep.
Now, I realize my behavior wasn't the greatest behavior and wasn't the smartest thing that I ever did, but
That's a
So
revelation.
it wasn't the greatest. So you mean you've had worse behavior than that? Like, like he's just barely brushing across responsibility here. You know, like it wasn't the best thing I did. Yeah, you
Like,
could
you
say
could have
that.
said what I
We're
did was
just-
wrong. I should not have done it.
Yeah.
But no,
He's
let's
not
not be
saying
that
that.
specific.
There's a butt coming.
Yeah.
it was entrapment, 100%.
Ah!
I mean, there's no doubt the truth is going to come out about this. And the bad thing is I know better.
Yep.
But I let my emotions get a handle on me, and I think there was a force at work there.
Oh!
that I can't really
Antifa.
put into words.
This is all
but
disinformation.
It's the devil.
Before we get into that,
devil
can you
was
tell me
the
about
force
the
of
Stop
it.
the Steal rally. I wanted to go to that one, and that's honestly what encouraged me to
Oh.
go to the DC rally on the 6th.
Oh, so this guy was there too.
Where was the Stop?
DC?
It was okay.
Yeah.
The Stop the Steal.
Yep.
So
Okay.
this is the November.
And that was in
rally.
November, right?
Yeah, it was pretty soon after the
Okay.
election.
That's right. Yep. How would you describe that one?
It was amazing.
Yeah.
For our
I mean,
audio
it was just-
listeners, he did the quote
just-
sign
I've
when he said
never
election.
seen so many people, just a giant love fest. I mean,
That was a love fest.
I don't care.
I've
that
never seen so many people. Yeah, it's because
CNN
nobody
has
comes to
zero
your fucking
credibility
shows.
with me. None of these-
I've never seen so many people racist against Mexicans and others. It was a love fest.
mainstream media outlets, it's all fake news. It's all controlled opposition. It's just a big game. And it was so clear. And dude, I saw like a CNN reporter filming down an alley where there's a couple stragglers. Meanwhile, over here, there's like 1.5 million people. I mean, as far as you could see coming down the street, you couldn't even see the end of it. It was unbelievable. And it was just a love fest. Everybody was so supportive. And
It's
didn't
like
matter
when you
what going
announce
on.
an event
No-
that people are
nobody
actually
cared.
interested in. Lots and lots of people actually show up to it. I have no experience with this before.
Literally nobody cared. Like we're all. It's all. That's that. I don't know. I think human beings, whether they know it or not, they have a desire to be free, and our governments are just really good at manipulating us into tribalism and hatred for each other based on whatever the issue might
But
be.
Trump's a
Were
good
you?
man.
Would you say you were manipulated? Yeah, like
I don't
Entrapment,
buy it.
Rob, you said it.
There were people of all walks of life there.
I remember it was pretty short after that rally that Trump had announced that he wanted everybody to come back for the 6th, and the purpose was just to ask that we send it back for
Right.
Yeah. And I remember that's when. See what now?
Back to the States.
Yeah, back to the States. Yep. And I remember as soon as I heard that, me and my wife talked like we should go, and then my dad's like, I want to go. So then, like, okay. So then we ended up going down. And
Deuterino says
was
he musk
super cold.
Hiles at the end of the interview.
So
Is he
many
kidding, or
people.
does he really do that?
I've never been in a crowd
I
like that. I
haven't
remember
seen-
you saying though that you thought the Stop the Steal rally was
It's bigger.
that's crazy. That's hard for me to imagine because there was so many people there.
Well, it was it was a weekend when that happened, and so I think more people were able to come.
Yeah.
blah blah blah.
guys running around. It seemed like they were trying to ramp up the crowd. They were like, "Hey, we're gonna storm the Capitol. We're gonna storm the Capitol." Like everybody, I remember everybody in our section was just kind of like, "What's this guy talking about?" And he was definitely alone in the thought, running around.
See, these are the bad actors.
And then he just kind of goes off. We're like, I'm not sure what that guy was thinking.
So
And
then why did Schaffer
like,
follow him?
it's so funny to me. Like, it can't be possible that that one guy is just an idiot Trump supporter. Like,
Yeah.
you know, like what?
God
Okay,
forbid.
sure. I will concede that there was a good amount of people at that protest genuinely there to do nonviolent protest. Sure. But there were also plenty of people there looking for a fight and looking
for
to get
sure,
like the opposite. And for you to just claim there's only one or the other is just, that's bad faith.
Listen to Trump, and then after he was done, and he's
Even
like, "Hey,
Trump
we're all
was,
gonna
like,
start
encouraging
walking
him.
over." Everybody started walking over earlier, and we kind of waited for everybody to pass, and then I think my wife, she was like, "We should go to the bathroom over by
wife.
the Lincoln Memorial versus over by the Capitol." So we walked all the way over there, and by the time we got to the Capitol, I remember there were people preaching on the street, there were people singing songs, there was people
so
saying
peaceful.
like. I remember there were some Chinese nationals there that were saying, "Hey, don't let this happen. Like, we do not want the CCP to be here in the U.S." And then somebody came up. I remember several different people came up. Like, "Hey, they're letting people in on." I believe it was. I think they said the north side. They're like, "If you guys want to walk in, like they're letting people in," because that was our experience. That we were far enough back.
I don't really give a
that
shit about what
we
this
could
guy
see
did
that
on
people were
January
up there.
6th.
And then somebody came along
I'm
casually,
trying to
like, "Hey, they're
get
letting
to the point.
you." I know you said it took. I know it's a long walk. My goodness, it looks a lot.
Well, it was like only a
God,
mile.
now
but,
they're just
you know,
talking
normally I
logistics.
could knock that out pretty quick, but it was just packed.
What
so
is-
you couldn't have a.
Jesus
there were
Christ.
people all around you and moving at different paces, and you know,
Yeah.
some very unfit people moving at really slow paces. Like I'd say, a lot of those. You know.
Yeah.
and,
Oh wow.
Wow.
so,
fatties.
Fat
it
shaving
was
his
already
own base.
chaos when I got there,
yeah. His
Couldn't have
the
anybody
people
left.
and I just went kind of.
Now
in a
he's talking
straight
about
line
his,
and-
okay, this is the meat now where he's talking about his experience. Here we go, baby.
We just want to meet.
There's the whole fake story of
Fake news.
the Oath Keepers thing. I mean,
Yep.
yes, I signed up to be a supporter of Oath Keepers when it first started, and I don't even remember.
Okay, so the fake story is he's one of the founding members of the Oath Keepers. And his first thing is like, yes, I was one of the first people to sign up to be an Oath
Well,
Keeper.
to support them.
Right. Signing
he's-
up is not.
He
being
joined
a
the
founding
fan
member.
club. He's not a member of the Mets. He's just a member of the fan club.
Right.
Right. Well, let's hear it out.
What year that was. I'd say it was like 9, 10, 11. I don't know
Yeah, he
when they
joined like a
started.
Yahoo
right at the
email
beginning.
list.
I saw an interview with Stewart, and I was just like, yeah, I mean, who wouldn't want elected officials and first responders and military to take their oath seriously? Like,
Yeah.
why is that a bad thing?
It didn't seem like a radical idea.
Yeah. I mean,
I love
So-
when they simplify
Yeah.
things. Like, what?
That's all it
That's all it is.
Well, just for people who are not deep in this lore of this story we've been covering here, what is the Oath Keepers actually in contrast with what he's saying here?
I think it is former military or corrections officer or whatever. It's them doing like a mailing list, holding people accountable to follow the law. So they're like a conservative group being like, hey, they're gonna like let people do this shit now. We have to like go and protest.
So in
Yeah.
other words, like he says firefighters though, like if there's a fight, what the firefighter didn't put out a fire, so they dox them or something. Like what's the story?
I
there?
think he's just like being very loose with what he's, but he just means like government officials.
I see. All right. It would be
Yeah.
great if there was an organization
That
that
is
like
funny.
when a cop beats up a
Yeah.
black person, like they out them or something. That would be
Yeah,
fine. but-
weird. They're never around for those.
No, they just build them a new house.
so,
with that plywood behind them.
Yeah, that's right.
so
That's
he,
what that's
I
for.
sent whatever the money was. I don't even remember the cost. It was $800 or $900, and it was like
Whoa.
your you get the ultimate swag and the lifetime membership and whatever.
Cool.
Like
got a
he's
shirt.
saying, it's like, oh, I just dropped a few pennies in the donation thing. You
In the-
said $900. You're one of the
Right.
first people. You got the gold VIP membership, and you're like, I don't know why they're saying I'm such a prominent part of this.
He got to go. He got to go be a roadie for Gene Simmons for that night.
Whoa.
Practically,
for 8 minutes.
it was the Oath Keepers version of that.
So, I mean,
And that came with the infamous hat, right?
yes,
So that was the founding member hat.
right.
He got so
And-
upset at that.
So look,
God
there
damn,
you
why'd
go.
you have
So
to mention that?
So part of this, so he's saying I'm not a founding member, yet
Right.
the hat that they gifted him for giving them $900 said Oath Keeper founding member.
Well, Rob, like you
Where is
have
the
a bikini
distinction?
inspector shirt, but I don't think you're an actual bikini inspector.
True. He's got you there.
Could you please read Deuterino's latest comment in the chat, Rob?
Yeah, I want to say this is too far, Deuterino. The Oath Keepers held Rob responsible for loosing Babka.
Yeah. Well, he did loose her off the
Yeah,
chain.
the chain was too loose.
Oh, too far.
I believe it. The Oath Keepers, that's the one thing they did that
And
I
I guess-
support. I have to say, nobody's
I'm
always
not
wrong.
a founding member. They just sent me a hat that said I'm a founding member.
Right.
You're a
Get
member
your
who
story
found
straight,
your song.
media.
I guess technically I am because I sent them money and
I guess technically I am.
Guilty as
Ah! Hold on, we gotta go back.
He's real mad at this whole interviewer, by the way, for he's framing it that way.
remember
You watch his face.
what year
He
that
gets
was.
very
I'd
upset.
say it was like 9, 10, 11. I don't know when they started, but it
Yeah.
was right at the beginning.
I think you went a little
I
too
saw
far.
an interview with Stewart, and I was just like, yeah, I mean, who wouldn't want elected officials and first responders and military to take their oath seriously? Like,
Yeah.
why is that a bad thing?
It didn't seem like a radical idea.
Yeah. I mean, so I sent whatever the money was. I don't even remember the cost. It was $800 or $900, and it was like you get the ultimate swag and the lifetime membership and
Just
whatever.
hearing it back
So,
all in one
I mean,
piece.
And that came with the infamous hat, right?
yes,
So that was the
yeah,
Look, you're right with
founding
the
member
face.
hat.
Look, he's so
Like, God
tense.
damn it! Why'd you bring that up?
and I guess
I just
technically
say-
I am because I sent them money, and I was probably one of the
I
first.
don't know if
Yeah,
it's the
super-
color difference or what, but his legs look so fucking tiny compared to
Yeah.
the rest of his body.
Yeah,
It's almost
you know
like
what
fake.
it is? It's because there's a wide angle lens, so the edges look wider than the middle. So it's
Ah,
creating that illusion where it looks like his torso is super wide and his legs
Yeah.
are very skinny. It's the same on the other side with the other dude. Like he looks like he has a very wide chest because of the.
He looks like he's jacked, but I guess his arm isn't really.
And
that
also,
long. He's
like
got
it
somebody
looks
for
like
his
they're in
python.
a split screen. Like one of them
Yeah.
is on the West Coast, one of them is on the East Coast. And
Is
it's
it
just like
possible
this.
that's what it is, and that's why the walls are like that?
I mean, it could be.
Listen,
It
that's
costs
true.
a lot of money.
Listen to Rob, the fucking Roger Deakins podcast over here, the fucking
Yeah.
cinematography expert. It's a wide angle lens, everybody.
He's
I-
good when it's interviews of metal musicians. He's got the cinematography down.
He looks like Dorf on golf. They put
He
two
really
fake
does.
legs, two fake legs coming through the chair.
It seriously looks like that.
Did he get his legs blown off on January 6th and they just don't want to tell anybody?
He's Kerry Von Erich.
super excited when
Wow.
I heard about it because I realized even at
Make
that
a
time,
sequel to
like,
the
we're
Iron
in
Claw
serious
with
trouble.
him.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I was already had been awake for a while, so. Anyway, they created the whole narrative. I didn't have any information on Oath Keepers, and I'm not even sure that those guys broke any laws. But the only person I identified was the cop that opened the door.
Yeah, so let's talk about this.
That's interesting.
Yeah, let's talk
Yeah.
about this. So when you got to the Capitol building, I know since your
You didn't
case has
do
been
anything
pardoned,
wrong.
you're free to talk about your involvements in everything. Are you comfortable with it?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So you get to the Capitol building. Just kind of walk me through. I learned best knowing about something from the beginning to the middle, all the way to the end. So if you could just kind of walk me through.
Well, it was sort of like an energy flow going that way, but it
Oh
was
yes,
It's
obviously
energy.
a lot of
the Holy
Yeah.
Spirit.
chaos already going on. I mean, I think from what I
No personal
heard,
responsibility.
is that people started before Trump was even done speaking, heading over there
Yeah.
and stirring up trouble. And so I don't know how many of those people would be, agent provocateurs.
Yeah.
It's so funny to me. Only
it's like there's
it can only
mix
be
in
the
there.
left
Obviously,
that
we know now.
act that way.
For sure. So
I wasn't a founding member of the mob that went over
but,
there.
I
I just began it and started at the beginning. And
I threw $900 at them.
I was like going in and went up the stairs and not going in the building at that point.
Oh.
I don't know if I didn't see any entrances being breached. I didn't see any of that.
Yeah.
So
I just somehow ended up inside the building,
Right at the
And-
front.
right at the front, and pushing cops.
I don't know where that took place. I just saw the same videos that other people.
He's
had.
like that guy that gets to the
But-
show after all the opening acts have played and still pushes his way to the very front of the stage, like spilling beer on everyone. Fucking worst person at the show. You're not entitled to the front row, motherfucker.
Yeah,
Leave
show
me
up early
alone.
like everyone else.
Yeah. God damn it.
I was going up the stairs and I felt what sounded like concussion grenades going off. It was loud. It sounded like it was within the building. And then tear
It
gas
was just
cannons
Chuck
were-
Schumer panic
canisters were-
farting.
Were blowing up over the top of us, and these girls were coming down the stairs. They were probably 50 feet apart, crying. Same thing. They're destroying stuff up there. That's not what this is about. So I'm like getting more charged up. Like, what's going on? It sounds like I didn't know what was going on. Like,
So he was only
I did
storming to
not
stop the
expect-
people from vandalizing.
Yeah, it's
He's a
because it
hero.
already started. Yeah, that
Yeah.
he had to get riled up. Again, none of this is his fault.
that patriots were setting off flashbangs or concussion grenades or whatever I was hearing.
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense because that's not what the movement's about. It's
Yeah,
not a
the
violent
movement isn't about
You can see
violence.
that. You can
Yeah.
see that amongst it. It's a very family oriented.
Yeah, oh,
movement.
absolutely.
It's I would say that most of the people are they're just freedom loving. Probably a lot of Christians and a lot of
Christians
good-hearted
love freedom.
Americans,
Yeah.
regardless of race,
Patriots,
creed, nobody
yeah.
cares. They're patriots, And so, like destroying property, that's not what we do.
Yeah,
that's not
no.
We just destroy people.
that's not a thing. So it became
Property
more
we
and more
respect.
alarming as I was getting higher up the stairs, and there were people on the scaffolds, and a lot of stuff was being said and yelled, and people were yelling, and I saw guys coming down that had been sprayed, which is a kind of a weird thing to see when you see it for the first time, because it takes a second for you to realize, and then of course I found out.
Yeah.
But they can't see,
Yeah.
but they look normal when you're looking at them.
Yeah.
But then you see that they can't see because they've been tear gassed or sprayed, pepper sprayed or whatever chemical irritant. And so I just went up. I don't even know if I had a model of the Capitol, if I could tell you where I was, but
Yeah.
there were scaffolds right next to the stairway that I was going up, and there was a deck up there.
It'd be great if there was like someone off to the side just heckling and
that's
demanding
right.
he sing a song.
It's permanent. It's part of the Capitol.
This is just between song
it looks
banter
like
and
it
like
would be a place that maybe they do photographs or something. There's not the doorway that I went in. There was no handles on the doorway. These
Okay.
were
Darren, you're muted.
doors that I'm certain are
it's
very
kind of
secure.
appropriate to what I said. But play something, jerk off.
Get to a song.
I saw the
Play the old
police
shit.
officer. He was masked up, but I still identified him. I
Yeah.
We
recognized
don't care.
him.
This is what I love. He's saying there was no riot. A police, like, all the doors are locked. Somebody let us in, so it's not trespassing.
Communicating. I saw him through the glass.
He's on the other side of the door, right?
Yeah, it was through the glass.
Okay.
He's on the other side of the
Okay,
door.
we have a
The door's
great
not-
look at his tie here. Look at how dumb this fucking tie.
It's
What
so
a
fucking weird.
dork. What a loser.
not opened at this point, and he was looking up at the camera, communicating.
And the way that the
And I'm
Patriots' legs
assuming
are sort of spread, and you can
that he
see
was
like the
telling-
ground between, it's almost like he's got like a front pussy goatsy situation going on
Yeah.
that the tie is creating, if that makes sense.
His
Like
legs,
that's like an open portal.
his legs are spread in the same way as the Patriot guy's legs are spread.
Yeah.
It's like a double. It's like they're stacked on each other, waiting for a guy to alternately fuck both of them.
Is the
porn scene.
Patriot holding a guitar?
Is it? No, I think it's
I
his
can't-
musket or something.
Rob, is there a way for you to zoom in on that?
No, but it's a
God
musket.
damn it.
I agree
Okay.
with Darren.
Rob is look at hold
Oh,
on.
Central
Hold
Command.
on a second, please. Look at his knee. Look at the Patriot's knee on the tie. Go a little bit to the left. Is that a peener right there? Is that a bulge?
This?
Yeah. Or is that
That's
a
probably
pants?
bear spray.
No, that's like his wallet or something.
Oh, okay.
No,
So
his
we-
penis is like over
Goiter?
here. His penis would be here.
but it could be
Hernia?
the
The
penis
tie-
of it could be the penis of the person that has their legs through the couch while his torso sits on the. On the
yeah, in that case, yes.
Could you read Dusty Rhodes Buffler's comment, Rob?
Front pussy goatsy situation is Rob's favorite DVD. I don't know about that.
Oh,
front bussy goats.
yeah.
Yeah,
Maybe
there we go.
change that P to a B.
Let's see a little more of this.
And there
Yeah.
to unlock those doors
So
because
one of those, like, hey,
yeah,
just-
because those doors, I can almost guarantee are magnetically sealed.
Oh,
You can
sure, yeah.
almost
You know,
guarantee.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's the capital of the United States. Like,
Yeah.
it's not going to be. You're not going to be able to just like take a hammer and break a window and reach around and grab it. You know, and there was no handles on the exterior anyway, so it had. I saw him do it. So
had
I
to
mean,
be open from the
yeah.
inside.
So, or at least maybe they weren't mechanically open, but they were.
Unlocked.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
whatever the mechanism is, the magnetic mechanism,
He's
Yeah.
talking like
and so the
Hasn't there been footage of like
uh,
some congressman
he opens the
like
door.
opening a door for people, like a
a few
side
people
door?
come out.
Yeah, there's a ton
So-
of there was
Just
there
as
was
the door was
cops letting
closing.
them in the front too.
Yeah. And are those cops agent provocateurs, or are they just also shitty fucking oath keeper types that like saw allies and were like, "Come on in, guys"?
Yeah, I think
or they're just like, well, I have no backup. I'm not gonna die for this.
Right.
Go right ahead.
Yeah.
but they were being friendly. They were taking selfies with cops and everything. And also there was a legitimate agent provocateur case, but it wasn't from anyone inside. It was like feds in the rally that were alleged to be like whipping people up to go, let's go break things. You know, they
Yeah,
wanted
he
to-
sort of alluded to that, but even that seems. I feel like the feds would have been on their side as well.
There was another group of people that yelled, "Hey, can we go in there?" And he said, "Yeah, come on in." Let him in. Then the door closed, and some period of time later, another group came rushing out, and that's when they said, "The cops are afraid. They're beating an old man in there. Let's go."
So these are
Okay.
already people from the rally that were already in there that are coming out
Yeah.
this door. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. And that's what I got caught up in was that last thing. And
Mm-hmm. He was
I
trying to
saw
save
the-
an old man.
it wasn't too long after
good for him.
that I got in there that I saw the cop that was communicating to open the door, just standing very calmly up in the stairs because like you go through the hall, and there's a ways down. There's a staircase up here, and he's like 3 or 4 steps up, just with his
What a
arms
fucking
crossed,
idiot.
looking at everything. And then the police officers are backpedaling because we're coming in, and then I caught off to the side which hell at this point could be crisis actors for all I know. I mean,
Oh, for all you
and
know.
So I don't know. Like it was just pandemonium. I start yelling at them. The police, when I see it looked like to me like an old biker vet was getting hit with a baton by the one that was on the far end on the right. And I started yelling at them and yelling about them not keeping their oaths and Congress is full of criminals. What are you doing? You know, whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever. Haha.
Not nice
You know,
things. I'm
guy
sure,
stuff.
I'm
Yeah.
saying. But then I got sprayed.
That's where the famous picture is. The
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah, deadly assault with a pointed finger.
With a pointed finger in the hat.
Yeah, in the hat.
We got to bring the hat up
obviously-
again.
Oh, and the tactical vest.
Look how
Okay,
mad
yeah,
he got
sorry about
again. That's
I love that like they're mocking the charges, but then like they keep adding on like, yes, I also had a hat that said I was part of the Oath Keepers. Yes, I also had a tactical vest. Yes, I also had the bear spray, which is like an illegal thing to carry on yourself outside of a, you know. Oh, okay, yeah, sure. all of these things add up to a questionable behavior, but I was just pointing and yelling that they weren't keeping their oath.
Yeah. Both those things are defensive,
Uh-huh.
by the way.
Yeah.
I mean,
Cool.
it's just ridiculous, like the narrative. And so
The narrative.
the more that it went on and the way it carried on, even after I was released I'm just like, I mean, you're talking about the most armed citizenry on the face of the planet. Insurrection.
Yep. Yep.
Somehow all those insurrectionists forgot their ARs at home
Uh-huh.
and their handguns and everything.
It's almost
you
like
know.
they didn't want to do anything like that.
Yeah, it's almost like that was never the intention.
All right, so you're up front.
Well, that's
you're
why
in that
none of you
line,
were charged with
you point
murder
your
or
finger,
anything like
you yell
that
some stuff 'cause
because
you're mad.
you were charged with
And-
what you did. Like,
Right.
it's
Yeah.
the
What I remember from the paperwork, it looks like you're in there less than 10 minutes.
Yeah.
I think what he's alluding to is
Well,
that
voted me
the
on
after
CD,
this
I would-
happened and after all these
Soon,
charges,
but I was hugging a
You
wall
pause it
for
for a
while
second, Rob,
because
please.
I was
Yeah,
blinded
sorry
by
about that.
whatever. And actually, I felt like the Joker because my face was.
oh, boy.
I think what he's saying is that not that his charges were wrong, but well, he's saying that too. But in that sentence, he's saying that like afterward, it was whipped up into like they tried to go in there and murder everybody, and it was used politically.
And
If
he's
I
saying
could-
like we could have if we wanted to.
Yeah, essentially, it's like we could have brought
Cool.
guns. That wasn't the intent.
Yeah.
But I do think the intent changed while they were there. I think the
Yeah.
intent was like someone got the idea
Yeah.
that we should go inside and like break windows. I think it was intended to be like a peaceful, like this is bullshit election or whatever.
For some.
Well, yeah, but I'm saying like I
Frozen.
think that wasn't meant to be like a vicious mob to go anywhere and do anything, and then like, oh, we're here. You know, somebody had the idea. Let's go break the windows, and they all followed
Yeah.
along.
Yes, it doesn't feel good, does it?
It was brutal, man.
Yeah.
It was like all. It just. Boom. There was nothing I could do. So I know I'm hugging a wall. I mean, I know that much. And then at some point, I could see a little bit of light, and I figured that was the doors. That's
Yep.
the way out. And I stumbled somehow, got down the steps because I couldn't see anything.
Yeah.
Not anything clearly. And I heard a female voice say, "Do you need water?" And I was like, "Yes, please." And I just started pouring up water over my eyes, and I don't know how much time passed, but as soon as I could see, I was out of there.
Yep.
You know, just went back to my hotel and took a shower to get the chemicals off, and that's. Then you know,
Then what happened?
I heard there was a curfew. I wanted to get some sleep before driving all the way back to Indiana, and so slept for a few hours, got up and got out of there, and then I was shocked by the reaction actually of the people freaking out so hard. I didn't
Yeah.
think it was that big of a deal. I mean, I really didn't. I didn't know. I didn't see any of the. I did actually when I was up there. I did see some clowns up on scaffolding. It looked like when you have the kind of a plank where you're going to paint
Yeah.
that they would hang down from the building. There was a guy up on one of those who was all masked up. I'm sure not
lefty.
America First.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Trying to break a window.
Probably came from Portland or something.
Wow.
Chance.
Good
Yeah.
chance.
It was Fred Armisen.
Somewhere,
Ah,
probably got paid from
Yeah.
USA.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Got paid
Say
from
USA.
USAID.
So
Yes.
anyway,
God. Oh, so
that's
much who
about
knows,
the
so much
height of
for
it.
all
And
I know.
after
Like,
witness-
just
There's
throwing
so and like
complete
yeah, like
lies
there's
bullshit out.
yeah. How do you live your life like that? Oh,
see what
this
we'd
is-
seen
this
all
is the
summer
truth,
long with them
obviously.
burning down American cities and piling up, putting pallets out on the streets of blocks and stuff to smash windows. I'm like,
Huh?
they're really gonna freak out over this?
Yeah.
But
yeah, it's different when it's the U.S. Capitol than
It's
like
just
a
as it went
fucking
on,
gap
you
on
know,
your
and
corner.
then I
like,
find out
it's a little bit bigger
pretty quickly
news.
that I'm on the most wanted list for the FBI, and I found my attorney through the friend of a friend, and he reached out to them. And
I wonder if, like 20 years ago, you told Jon Schaffer that he'd make the FBI most wanted list before he made the Billboard list, how he'd react.
I'm surprised he's not talking about like, yeah, and then my phone started blowing up because people were like, dude, what the fuck are you doing down there? You know,
No, because everyone that knows him was like, yeah, that was him.
it was almost instantly he was recognized. Yeah.
But also taking politics out of this, like you were standing inside of the second most prominent government building in the world. Are you really surprised that like the government wants to talk to you?
Yeah.
Whether you think you're right or wrong, whether you are right or wrong, just in a vacuum, like you don't even if you were a leftist and the government was the Trump's presidency, wouldn't you think the government would want to talk to you if you were in that building that was like set on fire? Like, come on, give me a break.
eventually, he said, "You got to self-surrender." So I did.
Okay.
Well, it's not surrender if you're not doing it
what's
yourself.
the process that happened after that? So you self-surrender.
There's ultimate surrender, I guess.
Yeah, I went to.
Not a grammarian.
Well, afterwards, I went to my girlfriend's.
Patriot.
Now he's bragging about having a girlfriend. Cool.
I surrendered in Hamilton County.
Okay. There's about 100,000 Iced Earth fans in the world. There's probably 3 of them are women at least.
Well, we know one of them.
Yes, but she's taken.
Yeah.
There, but the feds wanted me to have a special time at the old Marion County Jail.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah.
Okay.
So I was in solitary confinement there. Actually, for the first 2 days, I was in general population, and then I think that's not what the feds wanted.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, they said it was because for my own safety because I was in the news everywhere, but I think that's, you know, but we were denied attorney-client privilege. We were denied access to the law library. We were denied, you know, their policy, bright lights 24/7. You know, I was in a 5x8 cell, so with the bunk and the toilet sink combo, I could take like 3 steps in my cell, and it was filthy, disgusting. You know, for at least 6 weeks of it, I was next to suicide block. So the walls are all just steel plates that are welded together.
Yeah. And
I felt like I was in Arkham Asylum.
6 weeks just against the suicide watch guy.
He already said he was the Joker earlier.
Yeah, that's right.
Kind of stuck on
so
that.
It was, I mean, obviously everybody in there is under a tremendous amount of stress. And
and I guess to talk about why being up against that particular
is he up to prison
block,
reform
the
now all of a
suicide
sudden?
block,
He's an
would be
abolitionist?
so horrible in the metal walls.
well, because you hear everything.
Yeah.
You know, it's just a sheet of metal. They're sheets of metal welded together, and then in that I was in 4 different facilities, and that one had the old school.
The
jail
guy in the
bunk.
cell next to
So
me kept putting on Blind Guardian. It's like he was trolling me.
It's all steel and concrete, so it's like brutal on the ears, especially a guy who's used his ears for a living. It was just to add an extra level to it, but all the screaming and stuff, it was like it was right in your head because there was no getting away from it. Yeah, and bright lights, freezing cold cell.
He looks like a retired
Not
porn
being
actor, like Randy West.
some days where you don't
talking
get out
about
for
the good
rec
old days
at all.
Can we get him on the show to talk about how he generates big loads? Get him to do
Big
a
load
cameo.
of bullshit. At the very
Well,
least.
we spent that's enough time on that.
All right.
Forever,
Right,
you
like-
mean? Are we done?
No,
Or it's
I'm
just
sure there'll
today?
be more.
I don't know. It depends. Depends if he gets arrested ever again. There's really not much. I don't know. Do you want to talk? We could. I don't know.
Just don't.
Yeah,
I
there's
don't
other
care.
bullshit.
I
mean,
care
it's
about
not his
anything.
fault. Yeah, but a criminal we do care about is the Queen of Pakistan,
Oh,
the great Onijah Robinson.
Not
She's back.
Well, listen, I didn't go to jail. I was just stuck in Dubai. It was a situation that happened in Dubai that I couldn't get over at the time, and that was it. How long were you there for? I was there for a month. Wow. After Pakistan, yes, I was. That is so crazy. So then how did you end up getting out? Like, did you get in touch with like the embassy or? Actually, I'll keep all that private and tell you guys that later. Okay, so I want to ask this. Are you? Yes, I am. Actually, on a romantic date, you know, we had basically, we met through the internet, basically.
Oh.
Right. But is he in Pakistan?
Who is this
Yes, he is. No, so have you...
Isn't that Crackhead Barney and Friends interviewing her?
No, Crackhead Barney's a little more aggressive, I would say.
Sounds like her voice, though.
Also, she's got such an aggressive front wedgie going on.
Yeah,
She really does.
not a great outfit.
But right now, we all staying in New York soon. So, shout out to everybody. Respect for the law, respect for the law, respect to the law, respect for the law, respect for the law, respect to the law. Wait, so...
Is she saying respect to Allah or respect to
Or
the law? Oh, okay.
I thought a law.
It could be a law. It could be the law. It could be both. It could be neither.
Yeah.
Really, really fast. Okay, wait. So there was a guy that you showed, and he was kind of bothering you, and you had a cigarette. You said, "I'll burn your face." What happened? Because the people were kind of taking. That was my driver.
Hey.
She's dancing.
Move over, John. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Get the grill. Get the grill. Get the grill.
Gangster.
Get the grill face.
Okay. What did I just watch there? What's
I'm
going on?
not.
What is happening?
Well, there's another video from TMZ, apparently.
Okay.
Everyone's asking, where have you been?
Well,
come on the sidewalk.
Well, I'm glad to be back in New York. I'm glad about that. I'm happy about that, to be back in New York. And that's all I have to say for right now.
I do love that she hired a makeup stylist now.
Yeah.
At least she could afford actual makeup.
Is it that, or is it just she's not wearing the hijab anymore, and she just looks like a different person?
No, because she had it looked like she painted her eyebrows on with like a pencil.
Oh yes, I do remember
it was much worse. It was like comically bad.
Coins, follow everything.
Wait, Onijah, we got to ask you.
Yes.
So we got to debunk some of these rumors, if that's okay with you, right?
Yes, that's okay.
So we want to know, did you end up going to jail, or was that not a thing? Like, because everyone's saying she went to jail, she's stuck in jail.
Well,
what happened?
Listen, I didn't go to jail. I was just stuck in Dubai. It was a situation that
that's just
happened in Dubai that I couldn't get over at the time, and that was it.
How long were you there for?
I was there for a month.
Wow, after Pakistan.
After Pakistan, yes, I was.
Are you still in contact with anybody from Pakistan?
Yes, I am. My husband, he lives in Pakistan. Shout out to
What?
Nigel. Ahmed, I love you, baby. We are together. We want to clear
Wait,
up
is
the
this a
rumors.
different guy?
No, this is one guy. This is my husband.
So you met someone else?
No, this is my husband, Nidal Hamed.
Oh.
Not
His
clarifying
last name
at all.
Mustag is his mother's last name.
Wait, so how did you meet this guy? While you were out there?
No, we met actually on a romantic date. You know, we had we met through the internet, basically.
Right. But is he in Pakistan?
Yes, he is.
No. So have you, wait, okay, so when do you plan on going back?
You know, we're gonna discuss that, but right now we all staying in New York soon.
Did you get the money? Did you get the land?
Listen, they gonna give that land. They gonna give that land. They gonna give that 20K, that 50K out.
I
Straight.
love that.
And
Well,
that's it.
because I know, like, you were online saying that, so did anyone give that to you? Were you able to raise anything?
Well, they was gonna give me the 100K every week, but I left. So we're gonna
Oh.
see what they're gonna work on while I'm not there. I do have chips that have my face on it in Pakistan. I love you
For
guys.
real? In real life?
In real life.
You gotta show
I
us.
miss you guys in Pakistan.
Can we see a movie on your life? Any projects that, like, you want to drop here?
Yes.
So there will be a movie in your life, maybe?
Yes,
or projects?
I will be having my own
I will
show
watch
out
it.
soon with my husband. Don't worry, everything is exclusive.
I will
it's
watch
coming
their
out.
TLZ
Add
show.
my coins. Thank you very much.
I love that. We gotta get these coins.
What the fuck is going on? Does she mean coins like crypto or like actual coins?
No, like money. We got to get this coin.
But she said there's like a chip with her face on it or something. What does that mean?
Let's
Like
ask Jon Schaffer.
Like a poker chip? A potato chip?
Chocolate chip.
Now, I know we don't give him too much credence anymore, but I do want to quickly discuss
Jon Schaffer.
Oh, no.
I want to discuss Kanye West, what he's up to now.
Oh, boy.
Oh, I didn't know he was up to things still.
Yeah, he's on a promotional cycle. I believe he has released a new album, or he's about to release a new album, but I'm pretty sure it's out already.
How's it doing?
Is it good,
That
Rob?
I don't know. I didn't listen to it. Liar. And he's like really leaning into this whole Nazi thing.
Cool.
And like he got like a big swastika blinged out necklace of just the swastika. It's all like in diamonds. And I guess some hip hop journalist agreed to interview him.
Right.
And when he came to interview him, and it looks like it's at like an apartment, Kanye West warned him like, "Hey, I'm in my Black Klansman era," and the guy didn't understand what he meant until he showed up, and Kanye West is quite literally wearing
what?
like a Black Klansman outfit, like a KKK outfit, but black instead of white. And now I want you to hear the soundbite from this interview.
Okay.
On why he got mad at one of his friends and no longer talks to him anymore.
Behind my back, my issue with Jim was we working on clothes. And I said, look, send me a PDF. For anybody who doesn't know, it's like a group of pictures in a folder that you send to the iPhone. You could do like 300 pictures, 10 pictures on it, 10 pages. I said, send me a PDF of all the ideas, all the young niggas you know in New York. Let me see all of this shit right now. Let the king see everything that's happening, right? This man tells me, I don't know how to make a PDF. That was way more disrespectful to me than a nigga figuring out how to get the $2 million. Do you understand why? Because this shit to my face, nigga. You gonna lie to me about a fucking PDF, you faggot ass nigga?
What?
After I sat and took the meeting
I'm sorry, I should have. There's like definitely language
for you. You took the money and I ain't even asked you.
You're gonna lie about a PDF. Like, could you imagine being this interviewer and looking at this guy and he's ranting about Jim Jones, the rapper, not people to properly send him a PDF, and you're just like, what the fuck are you wearing? What is going on?
Anything can happen now from that spot. You don't know what's going to happen if you're that guy.
This could be the biggest moment of my career or the last day of my career.
Right.
I
And life.
have no idea.
Like, what am I doing here?
What now? Is he? I haven't really followed this that closely.
Yeah, same.
Is he mentally ill or is he trolling or some combination?
Well, he is
I think it's a
bipolar,
combination.
and he stopped taking his medication, I believe, a while ago. So,
But does he believe
yes.
what he's saying, though? Do we think he believes what he's saying?
Yes,
Like,
I think so.
Okay,
I do
fair enough.
believe it. I
He
believe thinks so.
he really supports Nazism.
I think he's on some level he's being provocative, but I do also think on another level that he has been wronged by music executives who happen to be Jewish.
May or may not be Jewish, yes.
And so he
thinks he's been wronged.
Right. And so he thinks that like these positions could be valid because he himself is a victim as he's in that Jon Schaffer victimhood camp.
Yeah.
Well, I feel vindicated because before he was a Nazi, I was never a fan of his work. I remember we had discussed this on the show, and I was on an island here.
You win.
But no, I'm not saying that to do a victory lap. I'll tell you why. I just feel like I'm in that group of the 8 people who never liked Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
But not that I'm not shitting on anyone if they like Kanye West's music. That was not my intention of bringing that up, but it's just so funny that now he's like, nobody's going to listen to this album, except maybe to dunk on it.
And continuing with the theme of Nazis in music, Glenn Danzig played a show this week, and the merch stand was definitely raising some questions.
Oh,
When one of his pieces of merch, in fact, the signed poster for the event, you could see his signature right here in the upper left.
Mm-hmm.
And his name emblazoned across the top of it, but
featured a traditional Nazi symbol, this like sun, the black sun.
Now, did you
symbol.
recognize that that's what it was without being told, or did you need the headlines to know that's what that symbol was?
I will say this is. I knew, just because
I definitely did not.
This has been coming up a bunch.
Oh, really?
Well, this particular symbol is a very controversial symbol. So I just know from other stuff, but I do think it is within the realm of giving a benefit of the doubt. Like, it is not intentional, possibly, right? I don't know.
No,
Has he commented on it?
No,
I would put it in the category of like Slayer, where they're using like negative imagery on purpose to be shocking. Not that he supports Nazism like Kanye West.
Right. Okay.
Like,
sure.
Not that that's defensible either. But so Slayer had the Slatanic Wehrmacht and all that shit. Like,
Yeah.
And also, by the way, Danzig's wearing an Iron Cross in that
Also
photo.
true.
Why is that acceptable? Does anyone talk about that?
It's an Iron Cross with the Danzig logo on top of it.
Right.
Yeah.
So why is that? That's not an issue. Isn't that more prominent of a Nazi symbol? Triple H has that thing on his tights. And all that.
I feel like the Iron Cross has been co-opted now. It's fine.
Okay,
I like
so
this. Okay.
so maybe he's co-opting the fucking symbol then, the sun symbol. I got it.
So you're forgiving Danzig for this one?
No, not forgiving him. I'm saying like he's not putting that in there as like a code word that he's a Nazi or something. That's all.
I see. Okay,
But it's still
Yeah,
dumb. Like,
if anything, it's more like I think this looks cool, and I'm not going to let the woke mob stop me from having cool merch.
yes,
I
I think it'd be weirder if he had like a Lemmy style shrine in his house, which no one's gonna see except him, unless he lets an interviewer in there. Yeah. That's more of a signal that he actually might believe in this stuff. This is like he's a provocative artist, or he thinks of himself as a provocative artist, whatever.
A friend, an acquaintance, shared this story from 2018 of Shakira getting caught or getting in a very similar controversy.
Oh my god!
Because she was selling this necklace with the sun logo on it.
Good grief!
Only $10 though.
It doesn't even look that cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Natsira. Swastika. Is that her name?
I would say stay away from potential white power symbols. Not worth it.
Okay. Oh, you mean all right. You mean artists.
With that said, I'd like to announce our new line of SS Livecast merch. Livecast merch. It's two S's.
It stands for Sid Smells. It's fine. We don't mean anything by it.
We're allowed. We're Jews.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Deuterino, do not Photoshop Livecast S merch, please.
But what about all the good things Hitler did?
Yeah, Rob.
That's AI.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yeah.
You can hear more great stuff like that in our archives.
Just Rob speaking the truth from the heart.
Truth to power.
We can't comment on whether he was wearing a black Klan outfit while he said that.
We won't comment.
Yeah, we refuse. Our lawyer off to the side of the interview room told us not to comment on that.
Fuck Sid.
Fox Sid?
There's more truth coming out. Fuck Sid. That has real feelings.
I love it, Sid.
Oh.
Yeah. Oh, really?
Sure. I love the Darren too.
Oh. That's very nice of you to say. Thank you. I love
We
you.
like you too, Rob.
Oh, I ruined your joke, Sid. Sorry. What did I just watch that somebody says? He says, I'm your best friend, and you're one of my best friends. It's from some show or something. I can't remember it now.
Oh,
Recently
yeah.
Just floated across my mind.
There was a song in Crazy Ex-Girlfriend about it where it's like, you're my best friend, and I know I'm not yours, and that's okay. That was one of the songs, but bless their hearts. You should watch Crazy Ex-Girlfriend if you're a fan of comedy and musicals and comedy musicals and bipolar disorder.
A fan of bipolar disorder?
Yeah, maybe Kanye West needs to watch a Rachel Bloom show to calm himself
Kanye
down.
West has a few crazy ex-girlfriends. Probably.
Not crazier than him, though.
No. That's an impossible bar to pass.
And I looked it up. That was from Severance. We're way in the beginning.
Oh.
PD.
Who says that in Severance?
PD said it to Mark.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Like, Petey's totally not in the season. I feel like
No,
being a big part of the.
He's like Mark from Parks and Rec. They just wrote him out. That guy. Remember that like straight man character in the beginning?
Spoiler alert, but didn't he pass away?
Who?
On the show?
Who?
Petey.
Oh yeah, but it's not mentioned what he did or anything.
Yeah, that's true. I think they maybe showed it in a previously on during one episode this season, but then otherwise, it's like it didn't happen. Still a good season, I thought.
I did too.
Yeah, I enjoyed
it. It got a lot of negative backlash.
Yeah, I think it's just people's expectations are weird now with any TV show. And just like why people watch and what they're watching for. I find it very similar to the vibe with White Lotus, which is a show I'm much less in love with than Severance. I like it, but I don't think I like it as much as the general public seems to. But I also don't feel like I watch it for the reasons that the general public seems to watch White Lotus.
I couldn't get through the first season even. I was like,
it's fine.
No,
it's got
I really enjoy
famous
it.
actors.
It's very much a soap opera. I think it's very surface level. There's not a lot of deepness to it, but I enjoy it.
I don't need deepness. I just didn't enjoy the story or the characters. I would bailed out like 4 episodes, I think.
It's totally
I'm
fine.
very impressed with how great they write awful characters. Like I usually hate everyone but one person during a season. And I think that's the intent.
Yeah. And the finale of that is coming up, I think, right?
Yeah.
Is that this weekend, the finale?
Yeah, I believe so. It's the same night as the AEW pay-per-view, and I'm actually more excited for the finale.
Ouch.
I'm just like, gonna pause the pay-per-view and watch the finale. I would be more upset if I saw a spoiler from the White Lotus finale after than if I would from the wrestling event. I realized. So that's what made me decide.
That's fair.
Because every season of White Lotus has a murder mystery.
Yeah, and that's the part I care about the least. And I feel like
agreed.
Most
I don't
people
care
that
about
watch it, that's all they care about.
I don't care about it, but I want to be surprised by it. I don't want to see a screenshot on Twitter and be like, "Oh, that's what happened." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I want it. I want to be a part of the zeitgeist. Anyway.
Yeah.
Let's talk about our Spotify playlist.
Oh.
Every week we each pick a song. We throw it on there. It's called the RIP Livecast Music Break.
And that drop actually plays when you access our Spotify page.
Music Break.
Yeah, we're working on getting that out. It's a glitch.
Music break.
Music break. We have 817 songs.
Musica.
You asked for it.
54 minutes.
Do you think all those people are still alive? Do you think any of them were
they're fine.
assassinated or kidnapped? Do you think we would have
Oh.
heard?
By
The
Hamas.
question is, how many people have those people killed since in the last
They
year?
themselves? You think they all joined
They
the army?
themselves,
and
yeah.
You're an
enlisted?
IDF. You have to
Fuck.
be, don't you? And to live in
Fuck.
Israel, right? Probably the
Could you-
guy saying Musica. That guy blew up a hospital himself.
Fuck. That is grim.
Musica is actually the vocal prompt to fire off a bunch of bombs into a hospital.
Those cell phones that exploded, or the
Yeah.
pager,
The
pagers.
pagers. Yeah,
This
yeah.
is the last thing 37 Palestinians heard. I mean,
Do you think they went into the artillery museum and used some of those munitions? Like the
No, I
artillery
don't know.
museum isn't even there anymore because it's all been used up.
I think we give them plenty of artillery.
Yeah, I
They're
don't
doing
think
all
they're
right.
at a shortage.
They don't have to tap into the artillery museum.
Thank goodness.
Yeah,
It's a
they will-
crucial piece of culture. We can't lose that.
And also, if they get down that far, Hamas might win.
Oh, could you imagine?
They're resorting to that. They might tap into the seed market and just start firing
no.
seeds at people.
Oh no, they'll be even more expensive for Rob then. Can't have that.
Come on, folks. Think about the real
I did.
victims here.
I did see that Israel, that some prominent Zionists in America were upset that Israel is being tariffed. Did you see this?
Yes.
Yeah, they're very upset now.
How
It's an
expensive are soda
11%
streams
tariff.
all of a sudden?
Thankfully, I still only have the one Stoat stream that is like 8 years old or something.
It's cost prohibitive now.
But I have the Fika, but I still have the old Soda Stream somewhere in a closet. So I will not be buying any more Soda Stream products.
So you bought a second Soda Stream.
No, the old one was like kind of being a little clunky. I think I mentioned this on the show. I bought a different brand, but I still buy
Oh.
the Soda Stream bottles though. That's their main scam. But it's like
Yeah.
whatever. It's just easier. I'm not gonna stop the fucking occupation by
Yeah.
doing that.
Oh yeah, the Fikas are really nice. I agree.
Yeah.
I
It's
like
more, it just looks nicer too. It's like for the
Yeah.
aesthetics of the room and everything.
It's nice. Yeah, I highly recommend if you have access to a paintball shop or a welding shop near you, get the Soda Stream hack. It's like so. Anytime I use it now, I feel so excited because one Soda Stream refill is the same as like 3-4 months of this fucking like I buy like a 5-pound carbonation thing. It lasts forever.
I'm just afraid it'd be like the anarchist's cookbook or something. Like I'll blow up my fucking apartment.
I was worried about that too, but it's so straightforward. There's really, it's very hard to blow anything up.
But not impossible. You
Bring it to
Not
Rob's apartment,
impossible,
have
but-
him do it, and then you take it home once he's successfully.
You just have to. It's a
lot of work.
little dongle
Oh,
that because the top of the Soda Stream where you screw in the bottle, it's a proprietary, like whatever it is, the
I get it.
connector. So they just figured out a 3D print of it and then created it so you could just plug it into a regular food safe carbon dioxide thing. So it's great. I support it.
I support you
Screw the
doing that.
corporate overlords.
I call
You know,
that my
I'm not-
colon a food safe carbon dioxide thing.
All right. So let's get to the music break. Each week we each pick a song. My song this week is a classic from the Swedish band Mogwai. And the
Are
reason
they
I
Swedish?
this
I don't
song-
think I ever knew where they were from. Huh.
I'm pretty sure they're Swedish.
Does that mean the Mogwais from Gremlins, the movie, are Swedish too?
No, they're from Scotland, according
Oh,
to
Scotland. S.
Wikipedia.
It's one of those S.
Jesus
Same
Christ.
thing.
Country.
Did you mean to pick Ace of Base, Rob? Is this all a
No,
mistake?
Mogwai. No, for sure Mogwai because I'm going to see them. They're from Glasgow.
Mogwai.
Mogwai.
Right? Am I right?
Mogwai. They're playing Brooklyn Steel this week, so I'm going to go.
Oh.
My friend Anthony invited me, had an extra ticket, and it's like I kind of fell out of love. Not like fell out of love with them. I still like them. I just kind of stopped listening to them. But then I got back into them this week since I never saw them live, and I'm like, oh yeah, this band rules. Why did I stop listening to them?
Are they
Well,
instrumental?
They have some vocal, but mostly instrumental. Yes, it's very ambient post rock is kind of the genre.
Dusty Rhodes Bell versus Rob keeping up with the gimmick of getting nationalities wrong.
I'm nothing if not consistent. So
They're
that's
from
my
Wales,
pick.
Sweden.
Yeah, just as long as you know the nationality of your sunflower seeds, you're golden. That's all you really need.
Exactly. So what's your pick, Darren?
My pick today was some old school hip hop and the Ultramagnetic MCs. I know Sid's shaking his head already. This was,
some old school hip hop from Roadrunner Records, by the way.
Was it?
Is that right?
Yeah,
I don't even know that.
This was released on Roadrunner Records.
Wow.
Wow.
This album, the track that you picked, for sure.
That must be. When did Roadrunner Records even get established? That's wild. I didn't know they were around that long.
In the early 80s.
Oh wow. Well, this is from 1988. But
yeah, this is their like one pure hip hop release on the label. That's how I know it.
That's wild.
But so the lead guy from Ultramagnetic MCs was Kool Keith, who went on to have a wild ass solo career. A lot of
legendary.
Very wild, crazy lyrics, and he's sort of an out there guy. He's sort of like bipolar, like Kanye West, but without racism.
Yeah, he's good-natured bipolar.
Yeah, and he began that like Nicki Minaj thing of having different ego characters on his albums, and they would all have different. He had a different one for each album. It was very cool. But this is pre that. This is like a more stabilized. Like he was a group of which he was one member. And this is when it was more kind of, I wouldn't say straightforward. It's a little bit out there, but like more straightforward, boom bap beats and everything. It's like a classic 80s album. The song I played was Ego Trippin', which was their biggest hit. But I may put a Kool Keith song on there at some point in the future too.
Maybe I'll throw Dr. Octagon on the playlist if I haven't already.
I feel like you have already, yeah.
Oh, really? I don't remember.
If not, since we've had the Spotify list, then definitely when we used to do music breaks. But I'll check. One of the best.
Cool. And Sid, did you say your pick? No, right?
I did not. Speaking of TV shows earlier, another show I've been watching lately is Dark Winds, which is like a 70s noir cop show on AMC. It takes place on an Indian reservation. And they had a scene this week where a fugitive is trying to outrun the cops, and the song Bitch by the Rolling Stones was playing it. It was just really perfect for that scene, and it's just a good groovy rock song from when the Stones didn't suck, before they sort of like played themselves out. And so I put that on the list. Bitch by the Rolling Stones.
Dark Wind sounds like a show about your butthole.
It's Dusty, as you say that, Dusty Rhodes Belfer says, I had dark winds this morning in toilet.
I think we all. I shouldn't single you out. We're all dark winders here.
That's true. Also, R.I.P. Val Kilmer.
Oh
yeah. Sid, have you heard about this new show on Paramount with Tom Hardy and Pierce Brosnan?
I've heard of it, but I don't really watch Paramount shows. It just feels like it's like I'm not the demo for Paramount Plus shows.
But it's made by Guy Ritchie. It's like, I'm just so shocked that I thought this was a movie when I saw the trailer, but it's a show.
Is it called Mobland or something?
Mobland, yeah. There's like nothing about it anywhere.
I also feel like it's been 20 years since I watched a Guy Ritchie movie. Like, I don't know. If you watch it and tell me it's really good, I'll check it out. But it was not really on my radar.
I'm considering it.
All right.
And also,
look good.
R.I.P. for Jon Schaffer, really irritating patriot.
On his tie.
Yeah, both him and on his tie.
Yeah.
And of course, please, if you like the show, show us some support. Go to patreon.com/RIP Livecast. You can donate as much or as little as you want. If you give us $4, you get a shout out at the end of the show, which is right now. Oh, no. $4, you get a bonus episode. I'm sorry.
It's true.
Doing my spiel wrong. $4, you get access to a bonus episode every month and access to our archive of bonus episodes. Hundreds of episodes in there. And just posted a brand new bonus episode of Hot Links, including the name of a dentist that we're just blown away that Nobody had a
so
red
good.
flag about this. A
So
lot of
good.
fun stuff. It's a whole extra episode for you, waiting for you at our Patreon, patreon.com/RIP Livecast. And $8 a month gets you a shout out at the end of the show, which is right now. How are we doing these shout outs?
Each of these people is a nut, and you're going to tell us how much the Nuts Factory charges for them per pound?
Oh.
Is that part of the shout outs?
That's Rob nutting.
Hold on.
Sound like
You okay?
Andrew Dice Clay on Valium.
What's going on? Rob?
Oh.
Or what's his name? The insult comic.
Triumph?
Oh, Sam Kinison.
Andrew Dice Clay.
Oh!
Oh yeah.
I said
or-
Andrew Dice Clay.
Oh.
Sam Kinison.
Oh yeah, Sam Kinison. Kicking it off with Benjamin. Your walnuts, $6.99 half a pound.
Damn.
Dan R, you're those delicious Turkish pistachios, the only type of pistachio. I will never eat a California pistachio ever again. They're
Man hates his
expensive, though.
country.
$13.99 half a pound. Shisur Sasusits, your salty peanuts, $7.99 a pound. Lando Danks, you're the sumac. You're just the grains in the corner that you can get,
Ouch.
like $3.99 half a pound.
Okay.
LaCroix, you're a cashew. You're a raw cashew. $5.99 half a pound. Raw cashew, not roasted. Raw.
Which is better?
Roasted. They're
Oh,
tastier.
damn. Okay.
Corey and Scotty H. Your roasted peanuts. Everyone likes them. A fair $6.99 a half a pound. Aaron, you're the everything. You're the peanuts with everything bagel seasoning on them. $7.99 a half a pound.
Because you're everything to Rob.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh, Jeremy, you're the chocolate covered pretzels. $10.99 half a pound. Very
Milk or
expensive,
dark?
A little overpriced. Dark.
Ugh, pass.
Mr. Schmertzler, you're those like weird fake peeps in the corner of the store that no one buys. $9.99 half a pound.
Weird fake peeps.
You know those like marshmallow candies.
Those were
Like-
those were Jon Schaffer's friends at the Capitol.
The ones who let him in.
The feds that were stirring up an insurrection.
They're crisis peeps.
Right. Weird fake crisis peeps. Last minute show title.
Oh my god.
I don't know. I forgot what the other one was.
Douglas, who are you, Levison?
Who are you?
You are. Let's see. What would Doug Levison be? What's like a good? What's a respectable Doug Levison nut? He would be the peppercorn. Just very, very bitter. Very
They
bitter.
sell loose peppercorns?
Sure. $6.99 a pound. Slinkies. Slinkies, you're like the fake Swedish fish. $8.99 a pound.
Damn. fake
Gender.
Yeah, they're actually
Yeah,
from
well-
Scotland.
And they $8.99 still if they're fake.
They're very
Damn
expensive.
tariffs.
Jander, you're the sunflower seeds, baby.
Oh.
$4 half a pound. Randy Blad. He's the salted sunflower seeds. Also
Okay.
$4.99 a pound. That's the show, folks. Thank you for tuning in. We'll see you next week. Until then, we love you. We kiss you. Bye-bye.
Mogwai. Mogwai.